Facebook friends and family. How are you guys doing today? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell, per usual, on this good Saturday morning. It is August the 23rd, 2025, and it is currently 9:53 a.m. here in Detroit, Michigan. I just got out the shower. I'm feeling really good. Greasing up my under the wig braids so I could put my little bonnet doohickey scarf piece thingy back on. Or whatever. But I don't have any channeled messages. I didn't wake up singing any songs or anything like that. Other than the song that I've been singing, which was Nicki Minaj and Future, You Know You the Baddest, Baby Fuck Them Hoes. I woke up singing that again, but anyway, hold on, I get my edges. Anyway, I was sitting on the couch yesterday and I was talking to Mally. He was watching TV with me and stuff, and we was just chilling. Mally is really my road dog. Like, y'all don't understand. My baby is only 6 years old, but he is like my best friend, I swear. But we was sitting down on the couch and we was just talking, and I had happened to say something, I don't know, but Mally just came up to me and he was like, "Mommy, maybe we gotta just forget about my dad because he don't like me." I said, "Oh, why you say that? Because you never seen him before?" And he was like, "Yeah, he won't come see me, so he don't like me. So I guess I just got to forget about him." And he like, "But I got you, Mommy, and you got me." And I was like, Mally, you can't assume that somebody don't like you just because they never seen you or came to see you or anything like that. But I understand what my baby is saying or whatever. Like, he can't stress about something that he never had, basically. But that pissed me off because he's such an innocent child and he's such a great gift, He's very smart, or maybe y'all would say street smart. He's only ever been to kindergarten, which he missed 3 months of. But he's still smart as fuck. And if it come to street smarts and book smarts, my baby will know how to survive in these motherfucking streets for sure. And that's one difference between street smart people, book smart people, and then people who have both. You see? Because I ain't never been one for going and doing the most in school. Like, when I was in school and shit, elementary, middle, high school, and everything, I was a pretty good student. I had good grades and stuff like that. 3.5s and all that. I wasn't never the 4.0, but I done had like 3.5s, 3.8s and shit like that. Or whatever. But, and math was never my thing. When I say never my thing, I mean math was never my thing. So, I started living life or whatever, becoming an adult. And book smarts still wasn't the interest for me. Like, some of my friends, they was off going to college and shit like that. And I have this one friend who she spent most of her life in college. Like, she left home from high school, went to college, had a good job, worked at college and everything like that. And that's one of the dumbest people I know. Dumber than a box of motherfucking rocks. Smart when it comes to book smart. Dumb when it comes to life. And that's one regret that I don't have. Spending half of my life going to school and then living in a world and not knowing how to survive in this bitch. And with the day and time that we live in now, we got the internet and Siri and Google and YouTube and TikTok. You can pretty much teach yourself anything. And I've taught myself a lot without a professor, a teacher, or anything like that. And when it comes to God, it's the same thing. Going to church is like going to school. But I've learned way more about God outside of the church house. And the one thing I learned is that the church is within you. And even the Bible says that. And God is within you. So technically, you don't need to go to church to have a relationship with God. because you can't go through the pastor to get to God. You got to go through yourself. And you have to learn that God is within you and we are one, or whatever. You have to really tap into your inner self. Find your energy, match energy levels, learn different levels, and that's how you learn God. Hold on. Yeah, sit your motherfucking ass down. This way. Too early for that. Hey, doop-a-doop.
The dog scratched me while I sleep.
Okay. Where? In your face?
On my back. I was sleeping, so it's on my back.
But yeah, to have a relationship with God, you have to go and learn God yourself. And you'll see that he tests you, just like in school. And that's where the test of all times come from too. Like faith of a mustard seed, faith without work is dead, and you know, all that type of shit. You learn that on your own. Because you got to be brave enough to step out into the real world and take those tests. Not at the desk, not using Siri, not using Google, but with all the knowledge that you learned from the day you came out the womb. Because you start learning immediately. You start learning while you're in there. You know, babies, they come out, they know the sound of their mother's voice, the sound of their father's voice. If they have siblings, they know who their siblings are because they was listening in the womb for 9 whole months before they even came out. That's why they instantly know who you are. Skin to skin, breastfeeding and everything, and the sound of your voice, the smell of you, they know. Not trying to be funny, but like a dog. Just like your dog. When Denzel had gave me Kong, and I lived on Griggs, Kong would literally know when I was coming up the street by the sound of my car. And my car wasn't raggedy. It wasn't no loud, obnoxious sounding car. But it was the sound of my car. My dog knew it. I could be around the corner and he's going to start barking. And the closer I get to the house, he jumping through the windows, moving the curtains. He knew that I was home. Just like my granddogs. Soon as Denzel coming down the street or pulling in the driveway, they know that somebody is here. They know the sound of my voice. They could be all the way down on the other side of North Lawn. Laugh, Cosmo. Them motherfuckers start taking off to the sound of my voice because they know who I am. And they have faith that when they get to the destination, they're going to see me. You know, so you teach yourself stuff along the way. Dogs, they can wander off, but they trace their scent. So they know how to make it back home and things like that. It's what they learn along the way. So that's why I used to let my granddogs out too and roam for a minute so that they can find their way back home. Just in case there ever became a day and a time where they accidentally left out the house and they wouldn't know how to get back home. Well, now they do, because they roamed the streets, roamed the neighborhood, roamed the backyards, done bent the corner a little bit and made their way back home. So if they are ever lost, or if I open the door and they accidentally get out and run off, they know how to return back home because they've learned the streets. Okay? So it's a good thing to be street smart and book smart. But having both is golden. However, if you had to pick and choose between being street smart or book smart, I'd rather be street smart. And that goes to say, like the little lessons that I was talking about the other day where I seen on Facebook, it was a picture of a carrot growing from the ground up. And they showed a picture of one carrot that was real nice and ripe and ready to eat, ready to be picked and everything. It was really grown. That they used as an example of somebody who had street smarts. Then you had the person who had book smarts, and they didn't have any roots. They didn't have any roots. You know, it was just waiting to grow. Like it didn't know nothing. It hadn't learned nothing. It hadn't been watered the garden that carrot was growing in. It's like it hadn't been watered. It had all the book smarts though in the world. And you learn a lot from trial and error. That's just like yesterday. My brother was outside and he was fixing something in his lawnmower. He asked me if I could come and hold the lawnmower up so that he can fix something up under it. And while he was fixing stuff up under it, he said, you know, I guess the person had asked him, like, how do you know how to fix that? And he was like, well, shit, trial and error. Like, sometimes you ain't got time to go and read a book. Now we got YouTube, TikTok, and everything. You could probably watch a video. But even before we had the internet, you learned from trial and error. If you fucked up your lawnmower, you needed to figure that shit the fuck out, or you was going to lose the money on cutting the grass, right? So you didn't have time to go and read a book or the manual that came with the lawnmower. It's like, how, okay, well, this seems to be broke. How do you do this? How do you do that? It take you 45 minutes to read through this little book, when if he just went up there, flicked it upside down, I'm like, oh, this stuck here. Let me take this screw off, pull it out, put it back on. You know, if I move this piece, then that means I got to put it back. Is it working? Is it not working? Is this the issue? And then you figure that shit out. You would have took 45 minutes to read this book, right? Then another 45 minutes to fix it. So you done missed out on an hour and a half damn near of work, when you could have just lifted the lawnmower up, looked at what was going on, observed, and like, oh, well, this would be an easy fix if I just do this, and do this, and then I just put this all back. That only took me about 15 minutes. An hour and a half of work lost, or 15 minutes lost. It took you an hour and a half to read this book and try to fix it. It took you 15 minutes to use your motherfucking brain, look at it, and figure this shit the fuck out. You see, sometimes it's better to be street smart than book smart. Now, if you have the knowledge of both, you good. I don't know what's making me talk about that. Somebody been judged all their life or something because they were not what people considered smart, because they weren't book smart. And I say that about myself all the time. Like, oh, she ain't got no diploma in this, she don't got no degree in this, she's not going to be able to do this. She is no way that possible that she's going to be able to figure this out. She doesn't have the knowledge, but she has the experience. That's just like somebody who never worked at McDonald's, but they worked at Burger King. And another person comes in and they worked as a CEO or a secretary or something, and they got a lot of experience. Actually, they're overqualified. They shouldn't even be working at a job like McDonald's, but they're down on their luck. So they like, oh, well, she got a degree. She got about 10 degrees. She's smart. She's going to know how to work this. It ain't going to take her no time to learn how to work at McDonald's. That one who worked at Burger King, though, she got experience. No, it didn't come from McDonald's, but she got experience on flipping burgers and frying fries. And I'm not trying to be funny. That's just an example that I came up with. You know, she got experience. So granted, she's going to a different company. She's already worked at Burger King for 3 years. So her coming into McDonald's ain't going to take her no time to learn the system and get back to what she's used to doing or what she's already learned. But this person who was a CEO, she got all these degrees, she ain't never had to get her hands dirty for real. All she know how to do is type. She can't even figure out the basic shit about how to work the cash register, because all she used to doing is typing and researching something and doing this and doing that. But she never worked in anything like other than sitting on her ass. She doesn't know how to deal with customers, irate customers, slow service, and things like that, because all she know how to do is work the internet and the computer. She doesn't even know how to have great customer service, because all she do to talk to people is send emails. She doesn't interact with people like that on the regular. So she's not a good fit. She doesn't have the experience, even though she's more than qualified to work here. So it's something about that. But I say that all the time, like, I ain't never go to school to be no detective, a cop, a lawyer, a PI, a judge or something, but I can solve the case fast. I can read the room fast. I'm like a jury, plus a prosecutor, plus a judge, plus the lawyer, plus the defendant, and plus the whatever goes against the defendant. Because I've lived life in almost every situation. where I had to think fast, where I had to observe something, where I had to put the puzzle pieces together in a short amount of time. I've been down on my luck. I've been a victim. I've been up, you know. So I have different experience from different type of situations. Meaning when I be watching some of these crime shows and shit, I be 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, and I done solved the case. It's still 45 minutes left of the crime show. But that's because I've been a victim before.
Mom,
Yes, baby.
for my niece.
I put it on the charger. So it's easy for me to put myself in other people's shoes. You get what I'm saying? People, that's just like I was saying, I was listening to the little auto-generated things by Elon Musk that has lately been popping up on my timeline. And how he's saying he's looking for a woman. Basically, he's been observing a lot of different women from different nationalities, ages, and everything like that. And he was saying, I want a storyline, basically. But I don't want a storyline from no rich girl, no spoiled girl, no girl who has been pampered all her life and she don't know how to do nothing. I want a girl who had to suffer. I want to hear her story. Somebody who, opposed to being given everything, had everything taken away from them. Somebody who has nothing. Somebody who has to literally teach themselves everything. Because that's the person who's going to be able to survive. That's the person who's going to be able to catch people's attention. Whose story is going to be captivating. That's who I want to work with. You see? So sometimes spending all your life in college, getting college degrees and reading 10, 20, 30 books and shit like that, and you think you just got all the knowledge in the world, and then you can't survive in the world. But to actually go outside and live in the world is how you gain knowledge of the world. And that's another thing he was saying, like, you can't live your life inside. Well, me, I was kind of like thrown to the wolves and had to figure a whole lot of shit out. So for the last couple of years, I decided to sit down, put my head in the computer or in my phone and do some research while still living my life, being tortured and going through all types of tests. So then I gained the knowledge that I needed from the universe, from the internet, from books, and put it with all the stuff that I had learned over the 35 years of my life. So now I'm book smart and street smart. But I was street smart before I was book smart. And when I say book smart, I mean what the universe has taught me. What I've decided to teach myself off of the internet. So maybe that is for somebody. I don't know. Maybe somebody is discouraged. That's why I was saying sometimes, I said in the video I did the other day, sometimes you don't qualify. Like if you go on Indeed and you're looking for a job or whatever, they want you to have an associate's or a bachelor, and you sitting here like, damn, I never went to school to be a social worker, but I'll be a great social worker. I've been through foster care, you know, I know what it's like. I'm an orphan, you know, I deal with kids a lot. I have children of my own. My children's friends come around me. I talk to the mothers. I'm a single mother. I would be a great candidate to be a social worker or to work in the field as like with CPS or something. However, I never went to school for it. I don't have the degrees behind me, but I'm more understanding. I'm more passionate, and I can work this job better than you. For instance, on the Tyler Perry movie Straw, that is on Netflix, I believe it's still on Netflix, I'm not sure. But in Straw, you have the detective, Tiana Taylor. Well, she was kind of new to the field. She was not a negotiator. She was an officer. She was not a part of the FBI. She was a regular cop. However, she was the one who was able to touch Taraji P. Henson because she had been a child herself that have went through a lot of shit. She watched her mama struggle and everything, so she knew what Taraji was going through. That way, she was able to talk to her. She was able to negotiate with her. She was able to build a bond and rapport with her to convince her to come outside. Let me help you. Taraji wouldn't trust nobody else because she could only relate to the person who could relate to her. Sometimes it's not about how long you've been in the field, but how long you was actually out on the field. You get it? So it's something like that. And I'm hearing, I will wait for you. That's funny because I've been in the field like the children of the corn. And you know, that song is Future and Tim's. And they're talking about a twin flame journey. Like, I've been in the field. I've been out working. I've been out learning. And I'm waiting for you. Because now I know in the process of me going through everything that I had to go through, even losing you and letting you go, you learned something along the way. And I've been learning a lot along the way. And once I got to this point and I realized what I had, what I lost, what I gave away, I hope that you can see that I've learned my lessons and you've learned lessons too. Now, can you forgive me? Can we come back together? And now can we build from here on out, because we've learned what we needed to learn. And it wasn't from putting our heads in a book. It was actually going out and experiencing things. Like, I thought I could find better than you. I thought I could find a woman who can be better for me than you. But as I dated all these other women, I see that you were the best thing that ever happened to me. And now, can you forgive me? But even if you don't and you still got lessons to learn, I will wait for you because I've learned my lessons. And I know that it's you that I need. You see, sometimes you just got to go out and experience shit. Now, granted, y'all could have went to a divorce lawyer and everything. And the divorce lawyer was like, well, I mean, y'all could have went to marriage counseling and everything. And they was like, well, you know, yeah, maybe the best thing for you guys to do is get a divorce. Date other people. And then you get that divorce and you start dating other people. And yeah, you like it. You like the attention and everything that you're getting from the other woman. But in the back of your mind, you like, damn, so-and-so would have been great at this. So-and-so cooked better than her. So-and-so knew how to make me laugh. So-and-so knew how to comfort me. So-and-so was good with the kids. Yeah, this is a great woman. She's beautiful. She got her money together. You know, she's nice. And another man would love her. But me, I miss that. I miss the girl who was settled and calm, who was trying to teach me the ways of life, and I thought she was boring. I miss her because now life is lifing, and she would have been able to help me through this. Meanwhile, this girl, she's already put together. She's been spoiled. She don't know shit about life for real. If she lost all her money today, she'll die. But her over there, the one that I left behind, with no money, she would have still knew how to thrive. She would have been able to help me get back on my feet, and therefore I can help her get on her feet, and we still would have been successful. We just would have had to work it out. But she would have knew what to do because she was street smart. She was life smart. This girl, she's too superficial. But it took for this man to go out in the streets and learn this. And that's okay. And that's really where the phrase he for the streets came from, or she for the streets. Because when these people were together, they couldn't understand each other. But they couldn't because they had life lessons to learn. Nothing that a marriage counselor can teach them. Nothing that relationship boot camp can teach them. It's them separating from each other, learning all these lessons through other people that showed them like, damn, he was a good guy. He was a good guy. She was a good woman. And that's one big thing about the twin flame mission and journey, is to meet each other and teach each other so many lessons along the way. And that when you come back together, y'all street smart and book smart. And now y'all a team. And who can beat y'all? When y'all know that teamwork makes the dream work, and you got all the knowledge that you need to succeed. If somebody don't want me to get this message out, because I keep stumbling over my words. Lavin and Cosmo, please stop it. Mally, get off the floor.
I was calling Lav, and then this dude just came out of nowhere.
Well, technically, if you were calling him, he didn't just come out of nowhere. He came to you because you were calling him.
I was calling Lav.
Oh, you mean Cosmo? You know Cosmo, he like to come when you call Lav. He think it's something. I hope they calling Lav and it must be food.
They actually Lav to pay him, not for you to start running around.
Okay, but I don't want them all on you. You was fresh out the shower last night and stuff. You still look and smell nice and clean and everything. I don't want you smelling like the grand dogs and getting all dog hair all over you.
And smelling like corn chips.
Yes, because they need to get them a bath. Especially Cosmo, because when he go out and pee, then he want to roll in it.
Why is he looking at his ear? Why is he looking at his ear?
They're cleaning themselves. Mari was going to give them a bath yesterday, but I didn't want him to give him a bath and then he get in the shower and you get in the shower, so he can give him one today before y'all, you know, get the day started and stuff. But yeah, so it's something about that.
I don't. Is 610 a good percent on my phone?
It's only on 60. I mean, you can see it.
Can you please stop following me?
I need to take my baby to get a haircut so bad. He looks so handsome when he got a fresh haircut, line up and taper.
Can you stop it? Following me. Don't go.
Give me a hug, dude.
Cosmo, can you get out?
Move, Cosmo. Move, Lavin. Come here, dude. Did you do? You better move.
Bro, mommy did not ask you for a hug.
Say hi to my Facebook friends and family, Mal.
Hi.
But I will wait for you. So, yeah. That must be for somebody. Maybe somebody is confused or they've been waiting or something. They don't know if they should apply to a job or if they should reach back out to an ex. Something like that is going on. And if you feel like you've learned the lessons and you're now more than qualified, then reach back out to that ex. Apply for that job. Don't be scared. Fear is of the devil. And you can't be scared of rejection either. Because as you've been in the streets, I'm pretty sure you've been rejected plenty of times. And even in rejection comes lessons. I spent a large portion of my life trying to figure out why I was rejected. Why I was rejected by friends, family, and things like that. But they say that rejection is God's protection. And I noticed that me being rejected in a lot of cases was my blessing. It wasn't a downfall. It wasn't fucking over my life. It was really protecting me and allowing me to learn the lessons that I needed to learn along the way. And now I'm 10 times smarter, 10 times stronger. I had texted one of my friends last night and I ended up falling asleep before he texted me back, and he's texting me now, so I'm going to text him. I'm going to end this video, but I'm going to end it on make that phone call, apply, call her, call me, see about me. Somebody is missing, like they're Charlene. And in the song Charlene by Anthony Hamilton, he's talking about how he mishandled a woman and now he misses her because he learned a lot along the way through life. That's the message. Somebody needs to call somebody. They're a twin flame. Like, they've learned their lessons. Like, they're a better man now and she's a better woman. Make the phone call. Reach out. Send the text. Send the email. Apply for the job. Don't be afraid of rejection. Even if you feel that you don't qualify, you have to remember the skills. And you got the skills to pay the bills. And you don't need nobody to tell you that. Because you gained those skills on your own. Wasn't nobody there with you shooting in the gym. Wasn't nobody walking in your shoes, learning the life lessons that you had to learn. So nobody can tell you that you don't qualify or that you haven't become a better man or a better woman, especially if they were not right there with you. So don't be afraid. Call her. Reach out to her. See about me. So yeah, that's for somebody. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm about to text my friend and see how he's doing and what's going on, actually. So I will talk to you guys later. I meant to put my little thing back on. Until I get ready to go somewhere, I'm just greasing up my braids and stuff like that, just so my hair can continue to grow or whatever. It's getting healthy. It's getting stronger. It's getting fuller in the center or whatever. So I really do appreciate that. I've been really trying to keep up on my braids and greasing up my scalp and stuff. Because, you know, I cut all my hair off 2.5 years ago. Also, well, I cut it so short. It was literally this length of my edges, like this long.
I said you look like me, but like a girl.
He told me, you look like me, but a girl. Yes, I cut my hair that short. So it's starting to grow back now. You know, my braids reach the bottom of my neck and shit. So, yeah. But I'll talk to you guys later. I love y'all. Apply. You qualify. Make the call. Make the call.